friends, Melissa here with True Northwest Magazine. Today we're here with Gurneet, the founder of Seattle Women's Network and brand Unpuzzled. Gurneet, why don't you tell us about yourself, some of your background, and what you do?
Yeah, hi, Melissa. Thank you for having me. My name is Gurneet, and I'm the founder of Seattle Women's Network, which is a networking group. We host curated networking events to bring the community together and support female pioneers in local Seattle and greater Seattle area. I'm also founder of Brand Unpuzzled, which is a design and marketing company. We offer services like website design, branding, and marketing. And I'm also a content creator. I post fashion and lifestyle content as a savvy fashion girl. So that's another thing that you can find me at. And I have a background in tech. I've worked in IT most of my life before I decided to be a business owner and start doing bits and bits of a lot of stuff here and there.
Totally. I bet that has helped you with your content creation as well, just having that tech background and being familiar with the way the world is today, everything online.
Yeah, so I think merging a lot of those things. So I started my career in tech a couple of years ago, and then content creation along with being someone who works in IT. So those were going hand in hand, and I think that laid the foundation of Brand Unpuzzled for me, merging content creation, whatever I've learned about marketing, social media, and how it could help small business owners grow their business as much as we have grown Seattle Women's Network over the years. So putting all of those tactics together and getting everything together and helping put the resources together for the community through Seattle Women's Network and the events that we host. We do workshops, seminars. We just bring the community together and we just give them the resources that they might need to learn and grow their business.
Awesome. So transitioning from being in the tech industry, like how did you end up founding your own business and starting the network? Like what did that whole journey look like for you?
So I think the pandemic changed a lot of things for a lot of us. So that laid the foundation for me because post-pandemic, I'm an introvert, so didn't really know what to do with myself, how to put myself out there, make new friends outside of the work environment. So last year, a little over a year ago, we started. I hosted my first coffee meetup. It was not supposed to be a networking event. Seattle Women's Network is a term that I came up with before we even hosted the first one because it just made sense at that point. But hosting networking events was not how it started. It started with just a casual coffee meetup at a cafe. And when I put it out there, around 30 people showed up for the first one. So it was a big hit. And one thing led to another, and it just seemed to be so fulfilling that I couldn't just stop at one.
Right, absolutely.
The people were showing up. I was growing as a person. I was making these connections, and then people would just walk up to me and say, this was amazing. We end up making friends, which was difficult for me as an introvert to do as well. So there were more people out there like me who were looking for a space where they can just show up as their most authentic selves.
I love that. And having attended some of your events, you absolutely nail that. You do a great job. They're fantastic, wonderful. I'd love to know a little bit more about maybe some upcoming events you have going on or some highlights of events that you've had this year that you were super excited about.
Yeah, so this year was really very big for us. We've done huge events. Maximum we've hosted is around 120 people for the grand anniversary celebration, and we're expecting around 100 people for the next one, which is the celebration of Diwali, which is Indian Festival of Lights.
I'll be there. I'm excited.
You'll be there.
Yes,
You're invited. And the theme is love and light, because we want to bring the community together as a whole and celebrate diversity, culture. So that's the theme. It's going to be a big one. It's a beautiful, beautiful venue. We are working very hard on putting that together. We're at event number, I think, 22 right now.
Wow, that was going to be one of my next questions is how many events do you have under your belt? And in a year since starting Seattle Women's Network, that is something to be so proud of. You've accomplished,
Thank you.
you've moved mountains. That's incredible. And it's very inspiring as a
Thank
fellow
you.
business owner.
Thank you so much.
Of course. I think that's a perfect segue to move into, what are you most proud of on your journey as an entrepreneur? Did you learn anything you didn't expect? Or from where you are today, what are you walking away with?
Okay, so yeah, I think the community that we've built within the network and outside is certainly something I'm definitely very proud of. So when someone walks up to me and says, I made a friend through the networking event, or I see them posting on Instagram, I'm like, how did you meet? And we met at a Seattle Women's Network event, so it just lights me up. So that's something. Then I see a business owner who worked with us, they got some clients, or they are working together outside of the events as well. So that's something that's very fulfilling to see that the work that you're putting out there is actually meaningful and it's having an impact on individuals' lives and as well as business owners as a whole. So, and a lot of our brand partners report that they have seen an increase in clientele and business opportunities and learned through the network as well. So I think that's definitely something I'm very proud of.
Yeah, mission accomplished.
Right.
Absolutely. And I know that you also have a core team that you work with. Have you seen those individuals grow and expand in their own endeavors as well?
Yeah, so all of us are learning together. We have a team of 7, which has been changing a little bit. But I think as individuals, we've all seen ourselves grow over the past 1 year. And in terms of, so everyone on the team comes from a different career background, and they additionally work on network as volunteers and put their time into planning these events as well. So yeah, some of them have pivoted in their career. Some are like, okay, I was not this person. I was so shy, and now we're just starting to open up. So Unpuzzled, I run with my sister, who is super shy. So she is opening up a little bit through the networking events as well. So yeah, it's similar to that. So me myself, I would say I wasn't that open as well. So
100%. I can completely relate. I think on my path as well, I would identify as an introvert and I like to keep to myself, but this whole experience has forced me to get out of my shell. And I think some of the most fulfilling and beautiful experiences that we have come from when we do that. So yeah. I love that you have created a space to facilitate that for a lot of people. I know that especially going through the pandemic and us maybe not having the human connection that we once did, it was very challenging. And so I think coming out of the pandemic, and it was just like great timing for you to have set up this networking business, and I've seen all that you've accomplished, so kudos to you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what are some of the future goals and visions you have for Seattle Women's Network and Brand Unpuzzled? You're here now and you're putting together these amazing events, but what is like maybe in 5 years, what's your biggest goal? What would you love to see?
I think we are still learning a lot, and it's a long way to go. It's just 1 year old, but we've done a lot of work, and so we plan on continuing doing all of that work, giving back to the community, creating more opportunities through bigger and more meaningful events. So adding more resources, more workshops, more seminars is what we aim on doing next. So this is going to be big. We will be expanding the network outside of Seattle as well. So that's something that I really want to do, is create hubs that we could just create it in another city and see how it works. So yeah, maybe that's the 5-year goal right now. Totally. Is what I see.
Totally, absolutely. What types of workshops and classes do you think you would offer? Would it be focused on helping businesses with marketing or brand strategy?
Yeah, so I think my biggest plus point is that I do a lot of social media myself, and I think I know a thing or two about social media. So we've grown Seattle Women's Network solely through social media. We are the biggest networking group in terms of numbers out there right now. So, and we've made so many new connections and worked with so many brands, so many collaborations. So I think social media and digital marketing has a lot of potential when it comes to growing your business. And that's something I would really want to share with the local business community through Brand Unpuzzled and through Seattle Women's Network. So that's something that I personally would like to give back to the community. And then, of course, there are more people who are immensely talented. So we would like to bring them on board, do different workshops. So in the past, we've done makeup workshops, we've done
Cool,
product
fun. I
launches,
love that.
we've done yoga classes. So yeah, that's something that we've done, and we plan on continuing doing that in the future as well.
I love that there's like a variety for a little bit of everything for somebody. So maybe if they don't want to go to a formal like networking, we could all go do a yoga class together or something. I think that really helps people make that first step to join something like a network or a networking event. That's awesome. And then going back to teaching about social media and how to use it, I know working a lot with small businesses for the magazine, a lot of them don't have a ton of social media experience or know-how. And so I think you're very onto something that will really is a service that's much needed. And I think that that is a great future goal for Seattle Women's Network and Brand Unpuzzled. Yeah. All right. So I guess to follow up, I'd love to know some advice you have for fellow entrepreneurs, business owners, or anyone really looking to maybe, if they're in their tech job and thinking about the future, what they could do to, support themselves in a way that's more fulfilling. What would that advice be?
So, coming from my experience, why I decided to make the plunge and to it is it came from within the network. So once I started doing these events, and once I started meeting more people who were so immensely talented, and they were just doing it. So when you see other people doing it, there's a lot of inspiration that comes from around yourself. So connect with the right people, surround yourself with the right circle of people who just support you and your vision and just push you to.
Totally. It's kind of like the ripple effect. Like when you drop a pebble into the water and you watch it expand out, it's like that pebble is the person doing something, and that energy just expands out to everybody. And I know for myself too, it's very fulfilling, like knowing that you were a part of an inspiration to help somebody else like take their next step or their next move in life. I think that's really special.
Yeah, you just become what you surround yourself with. So be mindful of the content you're consuming, be mindful of what you're eating, doing. Every single thing just adds up to, positive and negative. It just impacts you in a greater way that we could think of. So
I know when we were chatting earlier on the side, we were talking about the importance of self-care and taking care of
Yes.
ourselves as entrepreneurs. And I think we can both agree that that is paramount when you're taking
it
on
is super
something like
important. I get burned out a lot. I'm guilty of that, and that's something I'm really working on right now. Is taking breaks, self-care, learning to say no when I mean no.
Totally,
And
exactly.
giving some time off to myself to just unplug and just zone out for a bit, relax, have fun. We all need those.
That white space actually helps to create more creative energy in your mind. Like when you have the time to quiet everything down, that's when I get my best ideas, or like, oh, I definitely want to do this going forward. Just having the time to actually think about where you're going and what you're doing, I think creates that really healthy balance, because we are human as entrepreneurs as much as we want to be magical unicorns. But it's really special what you're doing, and I think I'm very, very excited to see what's next for Seattle Women's Network and to continue to see it grow.
Thank you so much.
Of course. So how can folks connect with you? Social media, website, all of that fun stuff.
Okay, so you can follow us on Instagram at Seattle Women's Network, Brand Unpuzzled, and if you want to connect with me personally, then it's the Savvy Fashion Girl on Instagram, or you can email us at seattlewomen'snetwork@gmail.com to connect. My DMs are always open. I'm the one responding to all of your messages. So, yes.
Awesome. Yes, and you are always great at that. A great communicator, which is always a plus when working with a business owner.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely, of course. And to wrap up our interview, is there any, just if you had the attention of everyone in the room, what would you say? What's your signing off?
Just keep going. Consistency is the key. I would say that's what worked with me. Just keep pushing yourself, but with healthy boundaries.
Yes,
Is
we
what
just
I would
talked
say.
about that too.
Yes, just keep pushing yourself. Keep one foot in front of the other. Keep going, because giving up is never an option.
Totally believe in that vision.
Believe in that vision, have that clarity of thought is very, very important. Just be intentional with everything that you're doing, everything that you're saying, and if I can do it, anyone else can, because I was not meant for this, is what I would say. But if I can push it and do it, and if there is some inspiration in this story, and then everybody else can do it too.
Awesome. I love that so much. Well, thank you so much for being here and allowing us to do this interview with you. We will continue cheering you on from the sidelines.
Thank you.
We can't wait to attend the event at the end of the month.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. This is amazing.
Of course, anytime.